Okay, so before I dive right into predictions, I do want to talk about the storylines for the upcoming games because I think they're all really good for the four remaining teams. So I'm going to start with FaZe and then work our way up towards BDS in the grand final. So for FaZe, they're kind of course, they're the runners up from last year after choking the final, and they're kind of having a really good run right now where they got bounced down to the lower bracket after their first game, which is what happened to W7M last year when they won. They lost their first upper bracket game, immediately went to lower bracket, and now they've just been on this insane lower bracket run. They've now won 4 games in a row in the lower bracket, so just a crazy gauntlet. So FaZe have played 5 matches so far, and they're about to play their sixth in the playoffs against Unwanted, and they're kind of just on that trek for redemption last year. And it would be crazy if they made this lower bracket one run work, kind of mirroring what W7M did last year. Now for Unwanted, of course, the storyline is where they have no org, of course, and that they're the Manchester Major Champions this year, but they lost their grand final MVP and tournament MVP, and they also lost a promising up and coming player, um, and they had to pick up Dream and Adam probably around a month before SI started, I want to say. Um, but the team looks really strong, and they're poised to be, I believe, the first ever orgless team that has, I think, a really good opportunity to qualify for the final. Because in my opinion, they play out of the teams remaining, they play like the meta, um, the best. Like they abuse the shields the best. Spirits is definitely the best shield player probably in the world. So I think they're really good at that, and being able to play that meta really well has really benefited Unwanted in making it this far in the tournament. And also, Dream and or Dream and Adam, I mean, have also been playing quite well. Specifically, Dream has had a great game today in their first game on May Stage against Raza Company. So I think they're a very fun team to watch, and they're definitely my personal favorite team to root for when it goes for teams to make the final. One of those reasons is because it'd be cool to see like an Orgos team make it all the way after nobody wanting to pick them up, and also it would mean we would have a new SI champion because Furia or two new finalists, not just a new SI champion, two new finalists because FaZe and Furia were the finalists last year. So yeah, for Fury, of course, it's the obvious storyline. They're trying to go back to back. They took a rough loss to the Chin to BDS today in the upper bracket final. Got sent down to the lower bracket final, but their run isn't over yet. They'll either have to play FaZe or Unwanted. I definitely think they would actually prefer to match up against FaZe. I actually think FaZe would be an easier matchup for Furia because Furia have really struggled against that shield abuse, and Unwanted are very good at doing that. So yeah, and now of course the big story line for BDS is: will Shiko get his hammer? Will he be the goat? And will they finally not be the bridesmaid, at least to a major Ubisoft tournament? Of course, they did win the Esports World Cup, but when it comes to official tournaments, second in both majors, and they really need this win to not be called the oil money merchants, the Saudi merchants. So yeah, that winning this grand final would be everything for BDS. So yeah, so those are the storylines I want to go over. Now for predictions, it's just going to be for me. Like I said, I want to. I'm purely picking Unwanted, just because I want to see them go all the way, at least to the final. I'm picking them to go at least to the final, and that's all you can choose today. So I'm picking Unwanted for both games. But predictions wise, like again, as I said earlier, Unwanted, they play the meta the best. FaZe have the best like fundamentals as a team, in my opinion, and then Furia, they have like the best strategy and some of the best like game theory, in my opinion. Plus, to top it off, probably some of the best um, gun skill out of any of the teams here. Though none of these teams have bad gun skill by any means. Everyone here is a top four in the world for a reason. So not really too concerned about gun skill at the pro level because usually the team with uh, who plays better as a team will win over the gun skill any day. I'll take a good team and good teamwork over talent any day. So yeah, I'm taking Unwanted for both games. Um, that's just purely personal choice at this point. Um, I'm not really predicting that much for Battle Pass anymore because I can't even get the Battle Pass. I still could get the skin. The skin would be nice, but I would have to get all three right, which is looking rough because I got two wrong today. SSG really sold, and then this is the first time that Furia has really shown weakness this tournament. So, and I kind of wasn't ready for that because BDS and before this match were the team that had really shown weakness in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm gonna take Unwanted for both games. I want to see them go to the final. It'd be cool. Plus, it'd be a sort of a rematch from the Manchester Major. Even though they did already play, of course, in the upper bracket quarters. So yeah, I will be taking Unwanted for both games. I think picking FaZe, um, and then or FaZe or Furia for this game as well. If you pick FaZe and then you pick either of these two, I think is perfectly reasonable. I think everybody knows this matchup is so impossibly hard to predict. It's just what one thing I will say. If this is the matchup you think will happen, FaZe always beat Furia in like regular stages, but anytime it comes to like main majors or the invites, Furia tend to win against FaZe. Of course, that's just based off of not really much, but it's just a pattern that I see tend to happen with when Furia and FaZe play each other. FaZe always wins on regular stage like in Brazil League, and then when it comes to the major events, Furia ends up pulling it off like they did earlier this tournament as well. In the group stage, Furia did beat them 2-0, but FaZe definitely are hungry for that championship, like all the teams here. But FaZe arguably have more to prove than BDS, in my opinion, too, because they've been contending at the top of the world for like 2 years now with this roster they've had. So, well, BDS have only been at it for 1 year, and they've had some success. Well, FaZe have literally had 0 wins for any tournaments. At least BDS have the Esports World Cup. That's something. So, but yeah, FaZe are definitely hungry for that win. But yeah, to end it off, I'm going Unwanted, just because I want to see it happen. It'd be dope. So, yeah. Anyways, have a good one.